Democrats have already made the First Amendment largely ineffective, and now they're going to destroy the Second Amendment. They're coming for your guns. The worst thing about H.R. 127, it's obvious that they want to register all of your firearms, even ones that you already own that are off the record. This sets them up for a later gun grab when they want to recall all weapons. They can't leave this stuff alone. Okay, here's Jen Psaki over on Breitbart News. Joe Biden would love to see action on gun control. One of the gun control measures before Congress that has gotten a lot of attention is Rep. Sheila Jackson Lee's, Democrat, Texas, H.R. 127, which would require the licensing and registration of firearms. Her bill would also require an ammunition registration. Can you imagine if other constitutional rights, like your right to privacy, everything involving a right to privacy, a certain Roe v. Wade right to privacy event, where they had to do a national registry and make it publicly accessible every time it happened? Can you imagine what kind of a cow they would have? Well, even though that is a made-up right, this is a right that's actually spelled out in the Constitution. Comes right after the First Amendment, your right to speech, implying that you need a Second Amendment to secure that First Amendment, a right to a firearm. This H.R. 127 is spooky as Hades. I'll have the link to this document in the description below. This goes directly to the congress.gov for the bill. This is for the 117th Congress. Here's H.R. 127. Here's required information. Under the firearm registration system, the owner of a firearm shall transmit to the Bureau the make, model, and serial number of the firearm, the identity of the owner of the firearm, the date the firearm was acquired by the owner, and where the firearm is or will be stored. And then here's the deadline. The transmission required by paragraph 1 shall be made. In the case of a firearm acquired before the effective date, that's all firearms that you own before the effective date of this bill, of this section, within 3 months after the effective date of this section. So you have 3 months to register all of your firearms. It'll be sent to a government database. The Attorney General shall make the contents of the entire database of every firearm in America accessible to all members of the public. So now everyone will know what you have in your house. This isn't just legislation. This is a breach of the Constitution. This is so fundamentally un-American that anyone who had a problem with what happened on January 6th should be tearing their own hair out, Democrat or Republican, over H.R. 127. This is psychotic, and this is like the total overplay, the normal overreach that they just talk about passively, like it's just H.R. 127, some firearm legislation. No. This is a giant no. This is a giant do-over. You can't even come close on this one. And these psychos are going to try and run it up the flagpole to see what you think. Make sure that you call your representative and tell them what you think of H.R. 127. We ain't going to do this. I'm Doug TenNapel in exile.